Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to show you a little bit of a project we've been working on for a customer for a little while, and I wasn't going to show none of it on here, but I ain't had time to work on any of our stuff, swap wise or anything to video. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what we've done on his and just let you see a little bit of it, so that way there's a video out. All right, this is a 1970 Toyota FJ40. It's a Land Cruiser. We've put LS in it. It's 5.3. It's got 4L60 in it, and then it's got an adapter on the 4L60 to be able to run the factory transfer case for the FJ, because on the Toyota, the FJs, the front end and the rear end are both offset. So you got to have a certain transfer case because the hogshead in the back is not in the center. So it's got that adapter on it. We've got the injector wires all run through the center, so that way you don't see none of them. The coil packs have all been relocated down here. I'm trying to get the phone. You can see the plug wires run around. So that way all the plug wires are hid. I got some, they got clearance on them, but I got them little fiberglass sleeves I've got on order, so that way we can put some of them on there just for extra. Got the computer mounted over here. These wires still got to be tucked up. I just tie wrapped at the bottom so it wasn't dragging the ground. That's the fuse block for the LS, and it's going to get mounted somewhere up here. Not 100% sure where we're going to do that. And then them wires there are for the starter, so we can get them back on. This is Holley's front runner setup. I got the tensioner off because it was all on, but I had to take a lot of stuff off because this gooseneck, the factory one for these motors and that come with this kit, kicks off kind of 45 over here. Well, you can see our port for the radiators there. So we got one of the swivel ones, so that way we could turn it, so that way it'd be a kind of a straighter shot instead of trying to do some funky something on that. So the rest of that's got to be put back together. The radiator got to be bolted down. We've got, these are the wires that run across. It's going to be for the headlights. I've drilled in here. I drilled that hole and put a little grommet there for these wires to come through there for the light out here. So now they just run back up through there, so they'll be tied up instead of, I think factory, they come back to this hole here, so it's a lot to be dangling and get caught or something. That way it makes it neat, keeps it cleaned up. Breather tube, not 100% sure on what we're doing. Been messing with some stuff, probably gonna wind up with a filter in this area, but not 100% sure yet. On this side, we haven't put the new valve cover on this side yet because it has no vent. And that side has no vent, it just has a filler, and the motor's got a breeze. So we're gonna have to weld a bung on here so that way we can hook the stuff up for the catch can and all that it's gonna get. This one done the same way. See, the plug wires are all tucked in. They run around and loop back to the coil packs that are all right there. Pulley's still off of the stuff over here for the Holley. But we got clearance on that now. When I put this system on, this port 45 forward, so it wanted to catch on everything, but it's got pretty good clearance on it now. This is the factory tunnel piece, and you can see where it had all the holes for the stuff through the years and shifters and everything. These will get patched up. This is a low car shifter, and it's probably gonna get mounted roughly right in there somewhere. That way, it's still gonna kind of have the straight gear looking here. Parking brake cable, park and brake one is gonna go there, but it's gonna come up from the bottom of the floor. These brackets and stuff will turn, so it'll be mounted under it. Got the slot cut for the twin stick for the transfer case put in, so we're gonna clean up around that. It's got the Dakota digital gauges put in it. Under the dash here, that's the main wiring harness for it. Wraps around and goes out and stuff. Tried to keep it neat. This stuff right here, these are for all the stuff on the steering column. And I haven't got a plug yet for that, so they're just tied to it, so that way we know where they're gonna be. And we're probably gonna take this back out, and this thing's got 4 spot welds around it, and I'm probably gonna drill the spot welds so we can slide this tube down, because that sticks way off the dash. I don't know if it's because it's for a different year or what. I know it's supposed to have like a pad piece that goes across here, but it's not gonna get that. If anything, it'll get like a little aluminum piece or something that's painted, you know, just to give it a good look. So the column don't need to be that far because it kind of puts it really far back. The switches and all, we've got them mounted there now. Used to factory, they went all right through here. Try and get you, if you look, that's for the gauges over there for the Dakota digital stuff. That's the BIM box that I plug into the OBD2 port, so the stuff that the computer reads, we don't have to run wires for them signals, because the BIM box will convert the signals from the computer to the gauge stuff. And then the stuff that's not through the computer, like the gas hand and that stuff, hooks into that other box there that's beside it. So that's them. Got, walk around back here. It's got a S10 Blazer gas tank in it. And we left the port so that way it's easy to work on. That's the wires run back here for the fuel pump and stuff. They gotta be hooked up. And then we're gonna run the new fuel lines. They're all gonna run down the passenger side of it. All the wires for the tail lights and stuff are all run. They are all loomed and run through the frame rail. When we done this thing, the frame rail would box it all in, so it's like a good little channel through there. The wires all run through it, so that way they're all sealed, and then they're in loom. It makes it neat, because you know that then we get shortened up and it'll just be a little loop there, so it'll make it look nice. These right here, they come out of the frame and then run down through there and go over in there for the gas neck. Step back so you can see it some. But what else have we done? I showed you the lights for that. Originally, the gearbox is back here. And this is a newer style gearbox for them. So it's up here now, so it's front steer, it's the rear steer. And then that lets you do the arm stuff, put all the arms and everything are in the front, and it's got the high steer kit and all on it, so everything's protected by the leaf springs. We've got the emblem to go in the grill, but it ain't put on yet, and the other fender, but I ain't gonna put it on until I get some more stuff kind of straightened out on it. Originally, the gas neck was here because it come in and the gas tank was under the passenger seat. That's been changed, filled that up and put it back here. That's the factory piece. This got moved and rewelded in back here. So you can see, let's squat down in here. The neck will come from here, and see these wires is laid across the top because that tube in the back you couldn't get through. So they'll get little bands that hold them. But this is the S10 or the S10 Blazer gas tank. The neck on it originally was up here. We cut it off, patched it up, and welded a new one in right here. I just got a bag on it right now so nothing gets in there. So then now we kind of got a pretty straight shot. I'll make this out of pipe, so it'll all be metal. And then we'll do a rubber piece that hooks to it on it. We got, what else? I'm trying to show you a couple of things on it. We're over here on this side now, but it's got all the stuff for the twin sticks is hooked up, so you can put it in high and low, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. We're gonna patch this across right here, so that way that piece will be filled up, and then do a little bit more, trying to get the patching where it's all cleaned up, and then have boots over it. These I get welded up, so they'll be gone. Just trying to show you this thing. He's not going to run carpet in it, so it's got this Raptor liner style stuff that the painter painted on it, some kind of spray on insulation, and then that stuff on it. So it's supposed to be sound deadening and all, but so he's not running no carpet in there, so that makes everything more difficult, I guess you'd say, trying to do the stuff where you don't see nothing, because you know a lot of stuff the wires run right across the top of the floor, carpet lays on them, and it's done. Well, this thing, you got none of that, so everything has been tucked up, tied around, or it's run neat so you can look all over, and then you know eventually it'll get the vintage air stuff over here. But that's like the computer. Normally we mount them inside, but the way the dash is, it's flat right underneath it. So I mean, I could have screwed it right to the bottom of this, but then you know when you're sitting in here, you'd have seen the computer and the wires. So didn't like that idea. We could have put it in here, but then it wouldn't have been a glove box. You'd have had to worry about wires and computer when somebody throws something in there. By doing it the way we done it, mounting them modules on the side in there, then you just got little button head bolts in there that are clean. So then the glove box can be used like a glove box. Computer's down here, fender's got it covered good. Then we moved the coil packs down there because I wanted it. This thing's mainly got most of its wires run on the motor right now for it to basically run. We got to do the starter stuff and that'll get tucked up. But we wanted it to look like this, like it don't look, when it's got that tube and it's sitting here, it's going to look like a car sitting there that somebody put LS in that they haven't finished yet. It ain't got the wires on it. And that's kind of the look I was going for, is it to look like it has no wires. It's just clean. So that way you're really looking at trying to figure out how it run when you don't see none of the wires on it. So moving the coil packs was a big part in that to make it look right. And these valve covers look so much better than the factory ones on there. And we may put Grace Performance or something etched on here, I don't know. May put a decal. We may paint them where they're red or something, not 100% sure on that. Kind of like the aluminum look because the aluminum radiator and all, it kind of all blends together. But this right here is all the motor wires and the taillight wires and stuff. There was a factory hole, there was a hole that was already in the firewall, so I didn't cut another hole. So they all run down. I'm trying to get where, and some of this stuff still got to be cleaned up. Like that's all for the coil packs to be plugged up, but you see they're all neat around. But you see the wires come down and they'll come over and then they split. So then you can't see in there. The wires all run up through the frame, run out of the frame in spots. Like that's gonna be the electric fan stuff, so it'll be loomed and run up. There's the headlights for this side. So everything is tucked away run neat. Just trying to make it as clean as it could be. Another thing, you know, you're supposed to have a battery up here somewhere too. Not 100% sure, but I know the battery is not going under the hood. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put it yet on it. I don't know on the frame how we're going to do that yet. I got some ideas, but not 100%. But I don't want it under the hood nowhere. So that way you ain't got a bulky battery. When everything's there, it's just going to look clean and not be there. Trying to think of anything else to kind of show you. I know this is a short video and this is a different video than what we normally do, but like I said, I wasn't gonna even do nothing with this one on here. I'm not gonna shut them all the way, but it's got that stuff. Got these. Got a Toyota badge that I gotta drill the holes and put here because some of them had the tire carrier on that side and some of them had the tire carrier on this side. So the panels are shaped different, and the Toyota emblem that we had was made for the other side, so it wouldn't fit over here. And he's got a new one that's made for this. I just haven't drilled the holes and put it in yet. And the panel is covered in this same stuff, so when it bolts in here, you'll just see the 4-button head bolts, and it'll be smooth, but if you ever got to work on the fuel pump, that's that way. These wires, I think them are seat bolts because it's got seats that bolt on the sides, so the feet kind of go to the middle. So these wires, I'm probably going to drill another hole kind of tucked up over here and run it through a grommet like I did in the front on both sides. So that way it's all straightened out. And you know, this light wire go through the same hole that I run these through. So then they'll be underneath it. They'll be neat. I don't know what else to kind of show you. I would pull that cover off. It's a little bit aggravating with the sticks and trying not to scratch the firewall, and show you that adapter underneath it. But that's a lot of it there. All right, it's a little dusty under here, but it'll all get cleaned up. That's the 4L60, and then you can see the adapter. You had to have a 2-wheel drive 4L60, and you took it apart and changed the stuff in it to where that adapter piece would go on it, and then it let it bolt to the factory transfer case. Then this mount we made, took one and cut up because of the way it had to be. You know, everything's in different positions now because 4L60 being further back and everything. So we cut the sides and got it where it plates and it's bolted up in there on both sides. So it's gonna be solid. These are all the parking brake cables. They're just tucked in stuff because they'll get run to go in. But it has a aftermarket oil pan, so that way the drive shaft's done being in it and out of it. It's right there. That's the 2 drive shafts. Look at this little bitty drive shaft. That's the rear drive shaft. And then the front ones, because I'm in the back so close. So when we got these made, they actually had to order special slip yokes because the drive shaft was so short they couldn't get the length that we needed because of the kind of joints. It was a whole mess, but all that's figured out. But this is a aftermarket pan. The truck pan, when it was on here, had issues with drive shaft clearances. And then, you know, also the way this thing is, you have absolutely no room on this side. You got from the drive shaft up, so no exhaust can go through there. So we're gonna have to do, and then the height of it here, you can't do a crossover here like on factory Chevrolet stuff. So we're actually gonna have to do a crossover up here. And I know on the video it don't look like a ton of room, but there's a lot of room, and we've took the skid steer and picked up on one side so it was flexed up and flexed it the other way, and to make sure that a piece of pipe was gonna have, there's plenty of room for it. But it's not my preferred thing. Don't prefer to run all that heat right up against the oil pan under it, but it's just the only option we got. So it'll be heat wrapped and run, but that'll be how it goes. And then that one will just get run down, and then they'll both get run back through there. But get back up here. But I guess that's gonna be it on this video. I know it's not like normal videos showing me work on stuff or us building some stuff, but it's kind of a little update video because things been a little hectic and we ain't really had time to, with customer stuff and everything, haven't had really time to do a lot of just us goofing off projects on the side. But we got some of them coming up real soon that we're gonna be doing. Just trying to get some other things buttoned up and moved out because we got another lift to put in here and stuff. So just trying to get some stuff moved so we can get the other stuff in here. But thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.